Welcome to Secret Talks. I'm your host, Michaell Magrutsche, here with Dr. Joen Painter and Hillary F. Brown. We are certified personal coaches that let you listen in on our private master sessions, where we discuss topics that come up with us or our clients. Holidays, episode 902, You, Your Partner, and Families. In this episode, we're talking about holidays, you, your partner, and families. Keeping your sanity during the holiday seasons, which is actually 2 months during the year, but it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. We want to become conscious first about why this is such a critical time for us humans. Emotionally, for most of us, we should celebrate and end the year and begin a year, and at the same time be giving, love our families, and being joyous and celebrate. And all these things coming together can potentially culminate in emotional uproar with our loved ones. First off, I would like to assess the situation, why this is, and explain that, because we all react to the holidays, but we're really not conscious of what is happening. And so let me review all the influences that concoct these potential emotional triggers.
Conflicts that could arise.
How to resolve this when your partner or lover or doesn't want to go with you to his in-law, hates it. And he says, great, I finally don't have to celebrate Christmas. Now his girlfriend wants him to go to her parents. He knows her parents and all that stuff, but he has no willingness to go. And he's not going. He said, I'm not going to go.
And this is his parents?
No, his dad died, so his mom is going to his brother. So she celebrates Christmas with the little brother. He was all happy. So, oh my God, I tell you how great I am. I don't have to celebrate Christmas. I hate Christmas. And his girlfriend that he hooked up with like 5 months ago, he met her parents, but she wants him to go and celebrate Christmas there. And he says, I'm not going to celebrate Christmas. I'm glad my mom is left and I'm not going to celebrate Christmas this year. So he's not really crazy for the mom and, because she's a martyr and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. If we think about what's the purpose of our lives, is to be happy and do what we want.
Exactly.
So if we decide we don't want to go to Christmas, then that's our decision and we can live with that, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I hook up with you, Joan, let's say you and I, Joan, would just find each other. And this would be the first year. I wouldn't mind the first year. I want to experience them. I want to know them. If I don't know them, that's interesting.
Right.
But once I know them and I know that I don't like them, there's something really to look forward to, I don't want to go.
I know that we want a solution for everybody, but I got to tell you, I'm not going to be on the solution of don't go because I have a different thought on that. And my thought is that when you have decided to share the love and respect of another person so much that you want to live with them, you're going to be with them forever or for however long you want.
Yeah.
Part of it is that you honor their family also. And if that means once a year you make a sacrifice, I actually absolutely believe in that. However, I also absolutely believe in why does it have to be on that specific date? As an example, we'll do Thanksgiving 2 days earlier or something like that. Or you could do it the week before. I don't think that there's some hard, fast rules that you have to do it on this date because you've got a new life now. You have a new family. You have a new relationship. And you guys want to set your own boundaries and you want to do your own kinds of fun things. So you don't have to block all your time away because you have this obligation. And I say obligation because that's what it ends up being with somebody's family. So my thought is still honor them, but do it on a different day.
And what is if that family says, screw you, we are the family, we were here first, we want to do it on Thanksgiving.
And thank you very much for inviting us, and we've already made plans for that day.
Okay, you shouldn't avoid them and deny them. I don't want to have somebody dictating to me, this is the time you be jolly.
And only you can feel that. Just because they want to get together at that time, that I don't think that they're trying to put that guilt trip on you that that's when you have to feel jolly. And
I know that. I understand that. That's a good point. I understand. Hey, if I feel jolly, I'm jolly at that time. And if they fall together, that's great. Look, if I look forward to it, I said it before, I would celebrate with you guys both. Any holiday, I would love to celebrate with you. Because I like you both. And, we all chose each other.
Right.
You choose your girlfriend. And now you have to accept the whole package. This is the perversion of holidays. Especially in a time where you should be jolly and happy and joyful and thoughtful and loving and romantic and all these things, you have to satisfy your girlfriend's or your boyfriend's in-laws to do that. I like your solution to say, you know what, we come 2 days earlier. It's probably saving a lot of money with the holiday travel, but we come a week early and then leave and then celebrate by ourselves, our own family. she is upset. I mean, she accepts it, but she's not okay with it.
Expectations, right?
It's always the same thing. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, what if he wanted to be with his family? What would she think? It's just a matter of like what he wants isn't important, but with expectations, people, are disappointed. So in reality, not having expectations in the relationship would help a lot as far as dating goes and it comes to the holidays. I don't know. I think it's unrealistic.
Usually a new one is actually very willing to go. I actually believe that when you meet somebody, it's curious, like if you'd say, hey, Mike, come up to Portland and meet my family, even if you'd say that without us going out. I'd be curious. Let me see that Hillary, how she's lived and celebrated or whatever. But I think once you know them and once you say, God, they're not really my kind of tea. And I think that's more it.
Like your boyfriend or girlfriend's family, then it's understandable. It's hard though, because what do you do? I don't know, maybe you can't be in that relationship. It depends on how important it is to you or the other person.
That's so tricky. You got to do what you guys fancy. So if Hillary, let's say you and I go out and celebrate in Portland with all the kids and everything, and that makes you happy, but see, I would be happy with that. I don't need you to celebrate with me. I would be happy. Say, listen, honey, I read a book. I have enough to do. And you go out there and then, you come back. And obviously the best combo would be what Joan said. With your family, for example, Hillary, you can't do it a week before. Right. Because they're not up there. So what are you doing then, Joan?
Well, but I'm talking about it depends on if you want to see everybody and you want to do everything with them, not your significant other, but what you want.
Okay.
And so if you're able to see all of them or some of them, depending on who you want to see, then you go that route. But otherwise, I just really believe that one time or once every few years, you got to sacrifice and just bite the bullet and go with your spouse or significant other to see the family.
What about 1 year it's you, 1 year it's the other one?
There's a lot of people that do that.
It's 1 year, we're going to your parents, 1 year we're going to my parents.
And then the next year you're at your house or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the idea of your family lives nearby, that you only go for a certain amount of time and that your spouse, I know we're leaving at this time,
Yeah, and that is the best scenario right there, is that you know exactly what time you're going to be leaving.
Yeah, and stick to it.
But the fact that we're discussing how to get out of a situation is up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like saying, you know what, I got to get my brownie points somehow, and I can't shake the waves.
It's about the brownie points with the one you love and honoring that person by going with them. I mean, really, you're talking one time a year.
Not one time a year. It's that time of the year. If it was, hey, my parents in January, they throw up a snowman building party, and we're all going up there and see my whole family. That's when they meet. I have no problem with that. The whole society, the whole world is celebrating holidays, and now you need to be going with your spouse or whatever. But I just say, when do you create your own family, and when do you set your boundaries and say, listen, I'm not with her, I'm celebrating with her. I mean, there is no holidays. If you both want it, that doesn't mean that both, let's say you and I go out, Joan, and we both just say, hey, we bite the bullet, we go to both. It's not a big deal. We have each other. We look at each other and we're fine. Right? That's not a problem. It's just in the cases of when it's always uncomfortable or there's some people that are very offensive, annoying, or embarrassing, always with that one that is a drunk. And the whole time I went there, they were intimidated. They let me feel it. There was never a word exchange. But they let me feel it from inside out that I'm not welcome. And you say, Joan, I should bite the bullet?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm going to tell you that.
My wife didn't feel good about it either.
Well, and then you don't go. If your wife doesn't feel good about it either, you don't go.
Yeah, but she feels guilty.
Yeah, see, I'm one of those people who doesn't really believe that you should set up this year's my family and next year it's your family. I think that you should set up, hey, thanks for the invitation, we're going, or thanks for the invitation, we've already got something else planned.
Okay.
Because I just don't like that obligation that this year it's your family, next year it's my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried to tell my child that, why do you have to set that up? Because that's really what causes more stress than trying to figure out, oh, geez,
Yeah, it's another structure that you put in. Mm-hmm. And you want to be a good girl or a good boy. I think that's the basic thing. I love my parents, but being with my parents during Christmas time has zero to do with I love my parents.
And that's how you decide if you need to go or not go when you're invited to come to their house. There's always those guilt phone calls. Okay, this is what day we're all getting together. You're coming, right? You have to say, hey, we've already planned on something else. And sorry, we're going to miss you this year. People have to accept what it is that they want.
Yeah, when I think about it right now, I don't think if the families are so upset if you don't show up. I think it's a self-generated guilt that one of the partners or both thinking that they have to do.
I think that's true.
I think most families feel the same way. And if one comes less, okay, that's actually less headache, less people that we have to satisfy the host. I think it's a self-generated guilt that we need to pacify our in-laws. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that comes to mind in this conversation.
The thing with me is I've always had many options for, where do I go on the holidays? So I never feel guilty because I always have had to decide, and that had to be my choice that I make. And I don't know, maybe it's lucky that I feel like that, but,
yeah.
And I have to just decide I'm not going to feel bad. Every year I'd feel bad, right?
Yeah. Now, would you be okay not to go to anyone?
I've done that. Last year I stayed home, and I've done it one other time.
Were you okay with that, or were you not okay?
I didn't really necessarily want to stay home, but what happened is I ended up going and staying with my friend and his mother and joining that family and making it more joyful for them because they needed someone to buffer.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing lots of things, and I got to decide what we were going to do because, I just happened to be the one cooking and everything. So I was like, okay, we're going to cook or we're going to go out to eat. I don't know, it worked out really well.
Okay.
So there are options, right?
Obviously, there's no generalization, but I think, at least I can say from this conversation, that everybody has to do what they feel right, but watch out that you don't force yourself into misery by feeling guilty. Again, clear communication is essential between you and your partner and the partner's family and them and your own family. You need to have clear communication and saying, this is what's happening.
And you don't even have to tell them what you're doing. All you have to do is say, I've made some different plans this year. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
That's something people have to start.
If they say that, what are you doing?
Oh, Tim and I decided that we're just going to have our own quiet day together.
Perfect.
And whether it's a quiet day together or we end up going to somebody else's house is nobody's business.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I think that helps. Hopefully our listeners will see that it is not their family only. It's everywhere. And I hope they get a sense of what feels the most right for them and can actually execute that and do it. And you can always contact any of us and we help you out. For more information, go to michaellm.com. That's Michael with double L, MICHAELLM.com. On the upper right-hand side, click on Wellness Team. If you like this show, please pay it forward by sharing it with your friends and like it. Thanks to my colleagues, Hillary F. Brown at hillaryfbrown.com and Dr. Joen Painter at drjoen.com. I'm your host, Michaell Magrutsche. Thanks for listening.